Howdy folks, I'm rambunctious, red-throated loon, ridiculously recounting raucous river races.
I'm Amber.
And here are more raucous river races for us to recount ridiculously, much like these Reddit stories, and how ridiculous they are. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our very first letter is titled, Am I a jerk? I told my girlfriend that her friend is more attractive. What could possibly be wrong with that? Before I start this, I just want to say that I love my girlfriend to death. I even learned her family culture and backgrounds. I'm a 23-year-old male and my girlfriend is a 23-year-old female. And we've been together since last year and we have a good relationship. She has a lot of friends and I know all of them. It was one of her friend's birthdays and she brought me along with her. As I was there, everyone was getting together and laughing. As I'm a sociable guy, I talked to a majority of the people. As I noticed one of the girls wasn't drinking, but kept a good attitude, I noticed my girlfriend walk up to her, but then she turned to me as she was talking to her and looked worried. I was curious as to who she was, cause she was unfamiliar, and I was genuinely curious, so I asked the girl who she was as I introduced myself. She said that her name is Emma, fake name, and it sounded like she had an accent, so I asked her what she spoke, and she said Arabic. I asked her why she doesn't wear a hijab, and she laughed it off, and I felt a stare, so I turned and I saw my girlfriend dead staring at me. But I didn't really care at the moment, because I was really interested in Emma. I asked her if I could get her a drink, but she said that she doesn't drink, which got me so hooked. I joked around with her and she seemed genuinely nice, but uncomfortable because my girlfriend kept staring at us. Well, my girlfriend went up to me and she told me that she knows that I'm flirting, and I said that I wasn't and not to be insecure right now because I'm having a good time. When I was with the guys, they were talking about who they thought was hot, and one of them said Emma, and I agreed. Well, when we left that place, my girlfriend went off on me and told me how I kept staring at Emma and checking her out and how I kept flirting with her. I didn't. I yelled, I'm not proud of that I wasn't, and she kept making some accusations. She's now in tears and said that one of her friends overheard me say that Emma was attractive. I said, yeah. Then she asked if I find Emma more attractive than me. I paused, not knowing what to say. So I said physically, but that doesn't matter because I'm with you. She told me to get out of her car and kicked me out and then drove off. Now I know I should have just said no, but she knows that that would have been an obvious lie. Now she's been acting distant, and I feel like I really messed up. I didn't mean to hurt her feelings, but at the same time, why would she set me up and ask if I find a pretty girl pretty? You know? I was just trying to be honest with her question. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP major jerk here. I mean, first of all, I was not flirting. Proceeds to list off all the things that people do for flirting, like offering to buy drinks and whatnot. Like, definitely you were at least being overly friendly and seeming really into her to the point where everyone is noticing. And then talking with other people about how attractive this person is while you are in a relationship and your partner is somewhere within the vicinity.
Well,
Um,
someone overheard, right?
right. Well, yeah, but like, it's still like a place where Opie's partner is on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, and then like, because like honestly, the his comment about her other person being more attractive, like, yeah, that's not cool. And you should read the room. But like that's I feel like even a lesser of a thing. And the only reason why it came up was because
Mm-hmm.
he was so obviously into
Yeah.
Emma or whatever her name is. I've forgotten her name.
Yeah, so there's a lot of complications here, right? I mean, I think this is a little bit of a delicate situation because certainly if you are in a relationship, you are allowed to find other people attractive, right? I mean, people are human. I mean, it does just because you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean that you suddenly become unattracted to every single other person, right? And but the way this is presenting is a little bit more beyond just the jealous girlfriend who's, oh, I'm just jealous of them, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like he was ignoring his girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
the entire time and prioritizing Emma over the girlfriend, right? Because she was there staring him down and he would just continue to flirt with her,
Well, that's
right?
the thing is he went out of his way to single out Emma and talk to her for a while. He wasn't just talking to everyone and
Mm-hmm.
mingling. He was honing in on her and acting, very flirtatious.
Yeah. And then on top of that, they had a conversation, a sidebar, where it sounds like the guys were just kind of rating the girls'
Mm-hmm.
looks at the place, and they all said that Emma was the most attractive one there, right? Which I mean, again, poor time to do this. This is supposed to be someone's birthday party. Why are you getting together and rating, the girls' looks at this party at that point in time, right? So I think that OP made a lot of poor decisions, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if this necessarily comes across to me as like a jealous girlfriend type of situation where she's just like any time he talks to a girl, she gets upset or something like that.
Right. I mean, I think she has reason to be concerned and insecure because of OP's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and his whole thing, like, well, if I had told her that she was more attractive, she would have known that's a lie. How, OP?
Yeah.
Like, is it because your behavior made it
Yeah.
so clear?
Well, I think that's exactly what it boils down to, is that their behavior made it really crystal clear who he favored there. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP earned. Pretty drama queen. Oh, petty drama queen.
I mean, it kind of works.
Kind of. Kind of. The wheel kind of did okay there. And Crimson Knight 004 says, "You're the jerk, you totally were flirting, dude. And you were talking with your friends as if you were single. When you're in a relationship, you respect your partner even if they aren't in the conversation, even if they aren't in the room, even if they're on the other side of the globe. You're in a relationship and you acted like you were single with your friends, and you acted like you were single right in front of your girlfriend's face by flirting with Emma. If you want to be single and mingle, do that. Just don't string someone along by pretending that you want to be serious with them." And I mean, I think that phrases it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And Arga Exintro says, "You're the jerk. One of the biggest of all time on the sub. You were clearly flirting, prioritizing someone new over your girlfriend, and then you yelled at her. I hope she finds this, and I hope she leaves you, and I hope you learn how to use a dictionary." And you New York State lady says, "And learn how to spell, you ignoramus." I mean, not everyone speaks English as a first language, and sometimes people have a hard time putting sentences together, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly, like, this one was a difficult one to read because there were a lot of misspellings and a lack of grammar, but, the thing is that people are sometimes have multiple languages under the belt, and it isn't something shameful to say, oh, I don't necessarily have full control over the English language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the least concerning part about this whole
Yeah.
post. But what do you think of the yelling part?
Yeah, I mean, yelling isn't cool. I mean, especially, I think she had some very good reasons to be concerned and to be asking him some questions here. And I think he knows that she's right on some level and is trying to use the yelling to, like, because he's upset that she's
Mm,
on to him. I don't know. But, whatever, no matter the reason, like, it's not good to
no.
yell at someone.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, "I'm a 30-year-old male, and how can I gently tell my wife, a 29-year-old female, that I want her to be more attractive? I feel like such a jerk just for writing this, but I really am looking for guidance. My wife is beautiful, a wonderful person. She has done everything perfectly in supporting me in my career and giving me two wonderful children. I love her unconditionally. We have been married 7 years, and it's been great. Typical ups and downs. But the problem is in the last 2 years, she's all but stopped caring about her appearance. She no longer dresses in the fashionable outfits, just sweats in a t-shirt. Maybe jeans and a t-shirt if we're going out. Her hair never gets styled, just a ponytail always. I've never seen her use makeup outside of when we went to a wedding a few months ago. She's gained weight, but honestly, that's not even a problem and it's completely understandable. I've gained weight myself. I just feel like she doesn't care and doesn't want to do anything about it. She's still attractive to me physically, but we don't have any of the flirty fun encounters that we used to have. I never get cute selfies or spicy texts. Many of my intimate advances that used to excite her are now brushed off immediately with a "not tonight," and I'm tired. I've tried buying her gift cards to clothing and makeup stores, hoping that she'll be excited to try a new fashionable outfit. But they go unused, or she buys more of those awful sweatpants and a plain t-shirt with them. I feel so guilty for even having these thoughts. She deserves the world. She deserves a husband who's attracted her. Can anyone offer me some advice? And folks, I want to read a comment here. And Worldliness Vivid 2835 says, she sounds tired. Does she do most of the housework, childcare, reminding you of things, picking up after you? Take most of that off of her and watch things change. Or make more money in your job and treat her to multiple holidays a year, new clothes and the best makeup, childcare, and so on. And OP replies, once I started my own business, she became a full-time stay-at-home mom. I work 50 to 60 hours a week. Yeah, honestly, she does most of the household stuff. I just can't see how that's the reason though. When we had our first kid 4 years ago, we both worked full-time, split time taking care of her, and she did most of the housework and still managed to do the attractive things. I don't know exactly what it's like for her, but on paper, she has way less to do and more free time now. I mean, we live in a 900 square foot house that is super low maintenance. I take the 4-year-old to and from school every day. Our son is 7 months old, and he is a handful for sure, but it's literally just one baby. Usually I cook dinner at night, and she pops the dishes in the dishwasher. Outside of taking care of the baby and making herself lunch, she really doesn't have anything else to do. And Fat, Sad, and Happy says, just a baby with no support from the husband, of course she's fully tired, a bit depressed, and has no energy. Goodness sake, if she wears clean clothes and showers daily, she is a goddess. Show up at home or hire a sitter so that she has a constant, guilt-free hours outside of the house. You get 2 haircuts? Cool. She can get her nails and hair done monthly. You cover time and money. Get her gym time allocated. Again, I am not stopping you to go, but with covered food and kids watching so that she can go at least 3 times a week, even if she naps on the mat there. And Opie replies, no support, I work 6 days a week, and make sure that my family wants for absolutely nothing. And we'll read this one as well. And Little Pog says, you don't seem very empathetic towards your wife, and you're kind of burying the lead here. You have a 4-year-old and a 7-month-old baby. She managed to do the attractive things when the 4-year-old was born, most likely because you still both work full-time and split time taking care of her. She became a stay-at-home mom when you started your business, so now she's the primary caretaker and maid of the house. Her appearance probably just reflects how she feels inside. Start taking care of your children and do your part of the household chores. Dishes and dinner is not the only thing that you need to keep a baby alive and a clean and decent home. Give your wife breaks from being a mom all the time. And OP replies, I know, I just don't get it. Like, how can I go to work 6 days a week, come home and do all the household chores, take the kids with me, or hire a sitter to take care of them, and make our lives better? Like, it really doesn't make sense. I know it's a lot of work to take care of a kid, but it's a lot of work to make a few $100,000 every year too. Like, what's the balance here? All right, folks, now that we've had some comments here, what do you think of this?
OP, you are a major jerk and you are not listening. It is very clear what is going on here, that the wife feels overwhelmed, overworked, probably underappreciated. It seems like OP is just spending all his time, so much time working, and if his wife is never, it sounds like she's not ever getting breaks, because he's like, well, I'm working 6 days a week, how can I help you? If he's making a few $100,000 a year, he can afford to hire a babysitter every once in a while, maybe hire a cleaning service to help out. Like, and was this starting his own business thing a mutual decision, or was it something that he took on his own and kind of pushed his wife into stay-at-home mom role? How did she feel about her job before? Did she want to have to step down, or was this something that was more going to be convenient to you?
So I think this is a little bit of a challenging situation. Instead of reaching out to the internet, I think that OP would have been better off talking to his wife and saying, is there anything I can do to make your life a little easier or help you out more, right? I've been seeing that you're, looking tired or whatnot. Is there anything that I can do to help lighten the load off of you, right? Because it sounds like she's either depressed, like you mentioned, which could be because she could be postpartum, right? Like, this is something that she could be undergoing. Maybe she needs, therapy and whatnot to help work through postpartum depression or something like that. Or she could just be realizing this isn't what she wanted out of her life, that she wants to go back to work, but now she feels like she can't because her husband's, she has to support her husband's dreams of starting his business. So I think that OP would be better off approaching her and finding out why she's low energy and not, oh, can you dress up more pretty for
Well,
me?
that's the thing too. Like, if it's obvious that someone is struggling,
Yeah.
but his first thought isn't, I want to figure out what I can do to help her. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to help her to be more attractive for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's the biggest issue in all of this is that his wife seems to be more an object for his consumption than anything else. He's not looking at her as a person. He's not really, because, when commenters point out what she needs, what she might need, I mean, obviously we're
Hmm.
not her. He's just, oh, well, how can I do that when I'm working 6 days a week? How can I do that when I'm working 6 days a week?
Yeah. So, I mean, certainly it's a hard situation. I'm not saying because this is part of relationships, right? Having difficult situations where you both have to work through challenging situations, right? Like they both have their own challenges. Him working 6 days a week, that is a challenge, right? And putting food on the table is a challenge. And in a lot of relationships, having somebody work and having someone stay at home is a dynamic that works for some people and but it doesn't always work for everyone. And it could just be that she's tired and that she's burnt out, right? Sometimes when you're burnt out, even if you have less work, you still aren't able to get as much done as you want to in a day, right? So being burnt out from childcare may just be what she is. It could be that when she was working a job, she had something that she felt like was, fulfilling, and so she got less burnt out from that.
And it's even just a completely different type of tasks.
Mhm.
Like when you're taking care of an infant, that
Mhm.
is a nonstop around the clock thing. Like the work,
Yeah.
you go in, you clock out, and there's like that bit of separation. It works your brain in a different way.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, you're maybe working with other people, but it's a very different thing than having to take care of this tiny human who relies on you for literally
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So again, I think that OP would be better off talking to his wife, maybe even going into couples therapy to see if they can communicate better and figuring out how they both can work together to make each other's lives better. Not approach her with the, can you please look more attractive to me? If you do that, you will be absolutely a huge jerk.
Yeah, well, and I think he needs to stop being so defensive, take a step back, and look at what can I feasibly do. If you
Hmm.
don't have the time to pitch in more, can you hire help? Because it seems like people are suggesting hiring help, and he never addresses that. He's just like, but I can't do anything more. It's like, it wouldn't hurt you to hire help if you have all these resources.
Yeah. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, My Husband Complimented Me and I Am Mad. I have this friend who wants to be a fashionista and post on Instagram all the time and all sorts of stuff, like a leg in a boot or a cuff or whatever. I usually roll my eyes and I scroll on and will call her B. Meanwhile, I'm into thrifting and I want to do more sewing. I've been also getting into natural fabrics because they feel good and are better for the environment. But fabric like linen sometimes tends to get wrinkly, so when I got this jumpsuit, I looked online how to make the linen jumpsuit look better in a work setting. It said to pair it with a blazer, so that's exactly what I did. It works well, but I wanted to get my husband's perspective. So I asked my husband what he thinks, and he's like, oh, wow, it seems like you've been taking points from B. You look good. This made me upset, and now I want to burn both the blazer and the jumpsuit and get back into a pair of jeans. I changed now, and I'm sulking. He doesn't see anything wrong with what he said because B always looks good, and you often dress like Steve Jobs. I'm upset because I don't want to look like B or anyone else. I don't want people to look at me and say, wow, you seem like you're taking notes from insert other friend's name. What a dumb thing to say. Am I the jerk for getting upset? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Opie's a jerk here. I mean, it's not even clear to me that she's expressed to her husband that she doesn't like the way that B dresses or thinks she like. There's a few things going on here. One is, it seems like OP's husband was just trying to give her a compliment and sees B as someone who's very stylish.
Yeah.
It's not even clear to me that OP has ever expressed to him that she finds B to be like too mainstream or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, is going on here. So he was just doling out what seemed like a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
And for OP to get all upset about, I don't want to look like everyone else, when she literally looked up inspiration ideas on the internet, like, I understand wanting to have your own unique sense of style, but I think you have to think here about what was your husband's intent.
Yeah, I think it would matter to me greatly whether he knows OP has a problem with B's fashion or not. Like
Mm-hmm.
if OP is gone on about how she doesn't like B's fashion and she thinks that she's too mainstream, then I think that it would have been not a compliment at that point in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that it would have been just digging into her and digging into an insecurity potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't know this, then he can't read your mind, and he can't know that this would be something that would be hurtful. I would say, talk to him and say, I really appreciate you saying that, but I don't want to be compared to other people with my fashion. Can you
Mm-hmm.
not do that in the future, right? And you're always going to put something on, and you might look like someone else's fashion style. There's only so many different, things that you can do with fashion before you look like someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that OP is kind of upset because they went from dressing like Steve Jobs, they think, to B, and now they feel like they don't have their own identity, right? And so they're upset about that because they feel like they had their own personal style, but now it's been kind of subsumed into these two other people, right? And the husband may just not really know how to express himself beyond, putting in metaphorical language like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's healthy to compare yourself to other people, but also, like, if you look like somebody, it isn't a huge insult, right?
Right.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
A sheet of scrapbooking paper and a bottle of glue were investigating a scary sound. What did the glue say?
The glue said, glop, because the scary sound was actually an axe murderer and it chopped off the glue bottle's head. And then there was all kinds of glue spilling everywhere. It was a horrifying scene. The paper didn't get away either. So, yeah,
Let's stick together.
they sure did stick together. They sure
That's not how I
did.
meant. And today is International Scrapbooking Industry Day.
So you now know what the scary sound was. It was a pair of scissors. Happy scrapbooking day, everyone. Just remember those horrifying thoughts when you go and cut out something and glue it to the paper.
Oh my goodness, you've ruined scrapbooking for me now.
Erase, erase, erase. And I have Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Terrific Tuesday, spelled TWO, folks. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, and have it on things not to say to your partner.
Hey, honey, why aren't you dressing up nice for me anymore?
Yes, that would be a thing not to say to your partner. Also, your friend's more attractive than
Oh,
you.
yeah, I forgot that one.
And you look like Steve Jobs. Probably not the best thing to say to your partner, to be quite honest. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.